skills. And she's coming on this show, and she's a celebrity to me. So, with that said, let me just do the honors to bring on this wonderful queen. We're going to get a chance to talk to her, get a chance to know her. And I'm really interested in the men's summit, because a lot of times you hear a lot of women, which we all got. Hey, I love the women. We love each other and stuff. But when you have a woman doing a men's conference, that's powerful. Men need to be put out there more, and you need to understand it. So we're going to get a little tag of that when she comes on. But I just can't bring on the queen just throw her on this. Here she goes. I got to do it. I got to do it the right way. So we will be right back after this one little clip. I see her dancing. Hello. Hey, Queen.
Hello, Queen. How are you this morning?
I am doing fabulous because you're on this show. I get a chance to have a little talk with you and share you with my wonderful audience. So, yes, doing great. So, first, before we start,
thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming. That's what I was about to say. Thank you for being on the show. And call, hearing my call. That's what I always tell people, because I be reaching out and putting stuff out there saying, hey, everybody want to come? And you heard my call and took the time out to say, okay, I'll come on the Coaches Lounge. So first of all, thank you for that. And, just reading just a little spurt of, that was small compared to everything. I mean, that we kind of summed it up in the bio, but you are huge in what you're doing. You are definitely a lighthouse to the world, as I say. Lighthouse to the world. And I just want you to take that. Or anything else, you take that, because I want to make sure that you understand that you're that lighthouse. But lady, I want to first, because there's a lot of good things that you have. I always like to pull the curtain back, because it's nice to know how people got started. It's nice to know, how did you become this, amazing, authentic encourager. I love that title. And being unapologetic about it, which I totally believe in. So can you just give a little taste of that before we get into some other things you do?
Well, first of all, good morning, and thank you, and good morning to your audience and your platform. It's a great honor to be here this morning, and to be on this side of the land of the living as well, and in my right mind, hopefully. But you asked me, how did I get here? I'm going to say 3 words: pain, struggle, and wounds. Pain births purpose, struggles birth strength, and wounds birth wisdom. And from that, authenticity is birthed from your adversities. There's absolutely no other way without pain, without struggle, wounds, or adversities. Why do I say that? Because we have been taught what to be, how to look, what to say, what not to say, who to love, where to go. All someone else told us, who didn't have right direction, who did what they were told to do. So from birth, we're taught to go to school. We're taught to go to college. We're taught to get married. We're told about things that happen in our past. We're told to believe in some higher power, God, Jehovah, whoever you desire. But there's flaws in everything. And we fight about so much that we don't know. So I speak about my lived experiences, not what I was taught, not what I thought, not my beliefs, because these things I don't know. Now, some people have that faith and believe in those things. I, because of my pains, because of my struggles, because of my wounds, it has transformed my beliefs and who I am. And it's taken me to a place of greater peace, confidence, joy, and non-conformance.
Mm. Whew, you know what? We just have to sit in that for a second because that was very powerful. I mean, I was like, oh, let me grab my notebook because you just dropped some golden nuggets there about the pain, the struggle, and the adversity, right? And
And the wounds.
and the wounds. And I was just thinking about that. A lot of times, in fact, I learned that through all that, you can make that decision to say, okay, I want to be that person to be like, oh, woe was me with all of that happened in life, or I'm going to make a decision and go to a different direction, even though the hurt was there, even though the pain was there. And a lot of times we can justify why the way we can just go that route, right? We can justify say, well, I was hurt when I was young, I was bullied, I was this, I was that, so that's why I am the way I am. But you took that and said, no, we're gonna go beyond that. We're gonna use this now. This is gonna be a learning experience in my life, and then hopefully for others to understand that your pains and your wounds, everything, don't have to keep you in that cycle. So I'm loving that.
And my internet must be cutting up because I'm not sure what you said at the end. It's going in and out. I think it's my end. But repeat your question, please.
Well, I was just kind of going back what you were saying about the wounds and the
Yes.
pains and the struggles, and how we can
Yes.
take that either going the wrong way and use it as an excuse not to get things done in life and
Yes.
not to move in your purpose, or say, you know what, I'm taking this and this is going to be a guide for me to say, no, I'm not going to let this stop me from what I had to do. Plus, I can help others if they're going through some similar, going through their pains and wounds, so they can move forth in life. That's what I wanted just
Correct.
to comment on that.
And,
Yeah.
and you know what? Let me touch on that making excuses point.
Mm,
The
mm,
reason why excuses are made is because we haven't tapped into our authentic self. We're still
mm,
trying to be what been passed down to us generationally, religiously, what's widely accepted, what's politically correct. And so we to try to fit that mold and
mhm,
to get people to like us and to be what other people want us to be and to be accepted, that's where your struggle comes in. So until you get to the point of, you know what, I don't care what nobody think about me. When you get to that point and truly believe that and know it, and
mm,
places in life and in experiences in life forces you to that, that's when you don't make excuses anymore. The things
mm,
I say, they may not be politically correct, but guess what? I can tell you there's someone who's needed to hear what I said. There's
mm,
someone who was waiting for me to say what I said. Someone's waiting for me to show up. And because I showed up, it can help them through. So I don't say that. Don't talk like that. Don't do
mm,
this. Don't do that. Why? Well, at first initially it's to make me uncomfortable, because then we're black women. So therefore, we have these issues. We're too strong. We say the wrong things. We too independent. No,
mm,
we're being us. And we need to understand that just because you are around someone, that may not be who you're supposed to be with. And
mm,
so everyone is not going to go with you. Everybody is not going to like you. You can't make anyone like you. I don't expect people to like me, but I require them to respect me. I don't have any control over what they do. So I expect nothing from anyone. I require things from them because the requirements are what I set and what I can control. So we have to learn to switch expectations to requirements. And parents,
mm,
allow children to grow and you get to know them. not trying to live through them, not trying to
Mm,
get them to believe what you believe, take the route that you took, go to college and do all these things. If someone is not ready for college, they're wasting money, they're wasting time. They're not mature enough to go just yet, regardless. So you're pushing people to do things. And just like people say, well, we're just gonna, do this or do that. People are not going to change until they're ready to change. Period. And so the frustration becomes when you're trying to get people to change and conform to your way of thinking, your way of doing things, your beliefs, and you don't know any of that. You don't, it's been passed down to you. So you really don't know. You've accepted something that somebody else told you. And so I'm not in a place of accepting what somebody else has told me. I
mm,
question everything now. I
mm,
question the question now because I don't see people walking the walk that they talk. So I can they're not an example for me anymore. And
mm,
so therefore I can't align with that belief because my lived experiences outweighs my taught experiences.
ooh, ooh, boy, that's another gold nugget, Queen. Oh my God. Oh my God. I love how you are owning yourself, like you said. You can't be, because you were reminding me of something that I used to deal with in my life, which I feel like I haven't. I overcame that, still just a little bit, but I overcame a lot of it, and that's being a people pleaser. Because when I
Mm,
was younger, I was bullied heavily when I was really young. So I didn't think already. I didn't think I was worthy. I mean, I was, I feel like I had no value. So that was in my head when I was younger. So I always thought that I had to please everybody, and started with my mother, because she was the one that seemed like she
mhm.
was never satisfied in anything I did. Love her dearly, not doubting her, not putting her down, but that's what she was taught, how to, raise children, because that was in her mind, and people put that in her mind, of being tough and saying no, whatever you do, you're not doing enough. You got to do this. You're not doing enough. I mean, it was an ongoing cycle. So with that in my head, I always thought I had to please everybody to live.
Mhm. Yes.
And
Yes.
when I got in my 20s, and then found out, oh, wait a minute, I'm not liking it. This is not me. Why do I have to keep pleasing everybody else? And then I'm putting myself in the corner.
Yes. Yes.
And then that's
And you
when
know what?
you own that. Yeah. Oh,
Correct.
go ahead.
And you said that you didn't uh I forgot what you said about you not liking yourself, not knowing. But do you realize, I don't know what your religious background is, but I grew up in Christianity. But do you realize some of the things that have been taught to us and what we say? We come here believing we were shaped in sin and born in new iniquity. Okay. We come here with those that pass down. What is that telling us? Not to like ourselves. Something's wrong with us. We don't love ourselves. I mean, we have to really think about the things that are passed down to us. And I think because the wounds that I've gone through, the wounds that I sustained initially came from the church and then my family. And I'm going to show something. My book, Wounds of Wisdom, is what started this journey.
Wow.
7 chapters, 7 topics. Start to unpack the teachings of Christianity, you have to scratch your head.
Mm,
You have
mm,
to literally scratch your head. Okay, well, you know, why can't I, you know, love myself? Why can't I show and be proud of my accomplishments and the things that I've done? But people will say that, you're bragging, you're being
mm,
boastful, and it's not. But if God made us fearfully and wonderfully and in his image, then if I'm a representation of him, then I need to operate in that and walk in that. On the flip side, when you see other people doing things, and if they're still saying that they're made in his image and likeness, well, whose image are we trying to, whose image is accurate? I'm just saying. When I tell you I'm in a place of questioning,
Mhm.
I don't just blindly accept anything anymore. I don't.
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
across the board.
Mhm.
That's the workplace. I don't look to be valued in the workplace anymore.
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
I don't look to move up the corporate ladder. I
Mhm.
don't I don't even say that I should be paid what I'm worth. And here's the reason why. I
Mhm.
can't control anybody else's policies, procedures, what they
Mhm.
decide, their biases. So guess what? I have to
Mhm.
switch that. Let me use this company. I'm working for them for this purpose. I don't
Mhm.
need them to validate me and my talents. I
Mhm.
know I know my talents. I know my strengths. And I want people to learn to love themselves enough to love themselves, give themselves permission to love themselves. But you can't do that if you don't know what love is. When the
Mhm.
world has torn you down, when the church has torn you down, when your family has torn you down, when your friends walk away, you have to question what love is. And so you have to sometimes you have to remove yourself, or God has to remove people from you so that you can get to your authentic self. And when you get to that a place of authenticity, of loving yourself first, not last, mothers, you know, on the plane it said put on your oxygen mask first, then the child.
Mhm.
Take care of mama first, then the child.
Mhm.
Take care of mama
Mhm.
first, then the husband. Take care of mama first. Okay? We're not taught that. And so many people lose themselves in their
Mhm.
husbands, in their wives, in their
Mhm.
children, and no longer know who they are. That's why when people die, people are so devastated. We've gotten so wrapped up and tight in who the person is deceased. We all gonna leave here. Why isn't death a, taught as a normal activity in life? And here's the other thing.
Mhm.
Okay, Christians,
Mhm.
if we don't see them again, why are we so remorseful? If we gonna see them again, big emphasis on if. I'm just saying. I'm
That's
just saying.
that's woo, doctor. That is a good point. That's you making some good points. Yeah, I mean, I
I'm
always
just
ask
saying.
myself that too. I'm glad that you say you question the question. I love that because I do the same thing now. Like I was just saying a little while ago, how I grew up people pleaser because I was younger. Like I said, no bad. I didn't think I had bad, but then I found out I was like that awareness, like you just said. No, if
Yes.
God is telling me that I'm in His, basically, I have if I have him in my life, then I have all the stuff that he has.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
should be saying that, hey, look, I am wonderfully made. I am this and that. Why am I
Yes.
sitting here doubting my? So I had to kick myself from saying, no, 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 Barbara, no, 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 no. And I love how you
Yes.
said you got so much with when you sat there and said about why I don't need anybody to validate me or value me.
Yes.
You talking about corporate, you talking about just anywhere, church,
Yes.
everywhere. And I was like, that is so powerful. Because that
Yes.
if we can just move that out of our way, there'll be so much more freedom that you have with yourself. Because
Correct.
you're not trying to be validated by everybody else. Like you said, they got their policies, got whatever. Hey, and you
Correct.
decide to do what you have to do. They're lucky to have Dr. Monica.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Let's really change this thing around and tell
Okay.
you the truth.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's not an arrogance. It's not a conceit. It's a confidence. And
Yeah.
I want everyone that I encounter to walk in confidence.
Mm. You owe it to yourself. Yeah.
Walk in confidence, whatever that is, wherever you are. And
Mhm.
your confidence today may not be the confidence tomorrow, and it may not be the same confidence as yesterday. Walk in it, whatever it is. Choose
Yeah.
it. Choose
Yeah.
it.
Oof. Wow, lady. Well, I could be talking to you for a whole nother hour. And I look at the time like, oh my God. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so I want to make sure that I give you just a little bit, some seconds here to talk to the audience. Any last thoughts that you have for them, and then
Yes.
I'll make sure that
Yes.
they can get their contact information. So I'll be right back. And then I want you to
Okay.
leave some other wisdom or whatever you want to leave for the
Okay.
audience.
Okay. One of the things I would like to share is that I am hosting an M4 Summit. That's Men with a Message on a Mission, Creating a Movement. And I believe that God dropped that in my spirit. And the reason why is because I have 12 men, which I call the dynamic dozen, who are speaking their raw, real truth about their trials, triumphs, truths, and tears. And you can go over to drmonicajackson.com/M4 Summit, find out more information about that and the speakers. And one of the things that I really am honing in on is giving men a platform and a voice to speak their truths and for women to hear. So much information out there is about women understanding, no, excuse me, men understanding women, but there's nothing out there for women to understand men. And quite frankly, ladies, if you heard me along this broadcast, we have been taught what to think about men, whether it's through what our father taught us, the absence of a father, religiously, and just experiences from friends. But we need to hear what a man feels and believes from his mouth and break down these myths that have been passed down, because men do speak, men do communicate, and ladies, men do feel. And so we need to understand that and meet them where they are, not try to change them or conform them to our narrative. Because if he's not that way for you, then that's not the man for you. So you need to learn to embrace the man for his authenticity, respect him for that. I heard one of our speakers say that, a man doesn't need love. No, he needs respect. I said, "Ooh, wee." Now, how many ladies you had heard that before? I had to hear that from a man. He said men want respect, not love. But here's on the flip side: when you give respect, you're showing love. And if you respect, you're going to love. Your actions are going to speak in love. So I invite you to come to the M4 Summit. Again, go over to drmonicajackson.com/M4 Summit. And you can see about our prior summit as well, T4, Trials, Triumphs, Truths, and Tears.
Wow, Dr. Queen. Thank you so much. And you know what, I just wanted to say, I know we didn't have time because I really wanted to do a little more deep dive in what, like you said, God gave you far as the men's summit that you put together, that you're over basically, you put all that together and you see that was a need. See, that's what I want to say. When you see there's a need and people don't really understand certain things, that's why you say to yourself, I'm going to make you aware of that. Let me bring on these men so they can explain. And you're right. A
Yes.
lot of times we don't understand sometimes you're on the
Mhm.
men's side of it. And I think if they had more summits like what you do, it would make it
Yes.
men and women's relationships, I totally believe this, would be better because we understand each other just a little bit more, and we took the time out to do that.
Okay.
So I have to give you so much kudos on putting this summit together and continue to do it. See, I love how you're doing that. It's an artist, it's ongoing and it's needed. So I just want to just tell you great success to you. I always tell people, once you come on my show, your family, so you can
Thank you.
always come back. Always come back and share every
All right.
wealth that you have and everything. So, with that said, Doctor,
Yes.
thank you again for coming on the Coaches Lounge. Also, I just want everybody to know that we'll be back next Friday with two other coaches. And as I always say, we spotlight these experts. Please reach out to Dr. Monica. Anything that she was saying was powerful. But if you want to have a one-on-one with her or a group coaching, she has that. She has a lot of that. If you just visit her website there, and you'll see everything was about her. That's why I bring on the coach, because I want you to get to understand and know them just a tad. And now that you do, what I always said before, there's no excuse, no excuse that you're not reaching out to the people that you need in your life to help you move the needle to the next level in your life. So with that said, we will see you next Friday. Take care, and always, always, always look at your gifts as golden and be that lighthouse to the world. See you next week. Thank you, Dr. Monica.
Bye. Take care.